everything sports related. Breaking news, fantasy advice, score updates, weekly thoughts, and more. This is the Sports Juice Network.
What's going on, Sports Juice Network? It's your boy back at it again with another episode. Listen, again, sports are not on besides the UFC that came back this weekend, okay? But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary, okay? I've been watching it. I know you've been watching it. Very, very entertaining. But I'm going to share some of my thoughts on what I thought about the documentary, even though we got 2 episodes left to go. So if you don't know, everybody knows who Michael Jordan is, right? Greatest basketball player of all time. No doubt about it. I mean, you can put Kobe Bryant in the conversation, rest in peace. You can put LeBron James in the conversation, put Larry Bird in the conversation, you can put Magic Johnson in the conversation. Michael Jordan was the best basketball player ever. Now, one thing about this documentary, people are starting to see Michael in a whole new light. Back then in the 80s and the early 90s, it was, oh, Michael Jordan is the best basketball player ever. He's this good guy. He's this, he's that, he's that. But a lot of people are starting to see who Michael really was, which was one of the things he was afraid of. He knew that, you know, the newspapers and the sports articles painted him a different light. But when he opened up his life to this documentary, he knew things were going to change. I got to say, I think ESPN has done an amazing job. They're letting the cursing go through, which makes it more real. They also have an edited version on ESPN2 for people who don't want to listen to the, you know, obscure language. But overall, I think The Last Dance, man, this thing is amazing. I think it's cool how the camera crew was literally following around the Chicago Bulls for like 5 years. I think that's awesome. So let's jump right into it. Here's my thoughts. Number 1. Michael was a bad man. And I don't mean bad as in, oh, he was this, he was, I mean bad on the court, okay? When you make Michael mad and you PO him off, okay? I'm going for 50 on you. I'm going for 25. Oh, Michael, you suck. Bet, I'm going for 30. I love that type of mindset. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So, number 1, Michael's a bad man. Number two, Michael hated Isaiah Thomas. I don't know why, but he did. He could not stand this man. He was one of the reasons why Isaiah Thomas didn't make it on the Dream Team, you know, the first NBA team to go to the Olympics. They kind of kept him off, right? If you don't know Isaiah Thomas, he played for the Detroit Pistons. He was the point guard. Good player, man. I mean, absolutely great player. But again, Michael didn't like him. And it all stemmed from when they were in the NBA, what was it, the conference finals, I believe? Yeah, conference finals. And Michael had they pretty much won the game. And Isaiah Thomas and some of his teammates decided, you know what, we're not shaking hands. We're walking off the court. Forget Michael, forget Chicago Bulls. The Celtics didn't shake my hand. Larry Bird didn't shake my hand. They walked off the court, so I'm going to do it too. That's kind of where that hate stemmed from, because Michael's like, I'm a competitor. You're a competitor. The least you can do is shake my hand like a man and say, congratulations, you beat me. Good game, blah, blah, blah. That didn't happen. They all walked off court. Dennis Rodman, they all walked off the court. Number 1, Michael, a bad man. Number 2, this man hated Isaiah Thomas, all right? Number 3, Dennis Rodman. Listen, when I first heard of Dennis Rodman, and I didn't, you know, when I first started noticing who he was, I just literally thought he was this guy who happened to wear makeup, foundation, mascara, and he just used to go grab rebounds, and that was it. No. First of all, that's not Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is a interesting individual, okay? He was a beast on the basketball court, don't get me wrong. He was a beast on the basketball court, but he will often take absences without telling the team. He'll just leave and go party in Las Vegas and come back like nothing ever happened. I'm talking about in the middle of the series, Dennis Rodman's like, peace out, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. And I'm like, where you going? He's out in Las Vegas doing God knows what with Carmen Electra, which is hilarious to me. It's very hilarious. But the whole thing about is Dennis Rodman this, is he that. He had an interview, or on the Docuseries, he's just like, I'm a colorful person. I don't know what that means exactly, but apparently colorful. I mean, you saw his hair used to be dyed all every which color. He had nail polish on, he wore makeup. He just said he was a colorful person and he just wanted to live that out. So hey, by all means, do what you got to do. He was still a beast on the basketball court. Dennis Rodman was a beast, man. We talking about rebounds. We talking about He took the responsibility of guarding whatever team's best player the whole entire game. Do you know how hard that is to guard the best? I got Shaq, right? I got him. I got him. Oh, that's mine. I got him. I'm gonna lock him down. I'll guard Michael. I'll lock Michael down. Crazy. Number 4. Here's another interesting thing that I've seen about this document that you could probably agree on. Number 4. Michael's gambling problem, to me, was not as big as people blew it up when it first started happening. Number 1, there's no rules or there's nothing illegal about gambling in a casino. There's nothing wrong with that. People do that all the time. He wasn't betting on sports games that I know of, from my knowledge, from the documentary's knowledge. He wasn't betting on sports games. He wasn't betting on high school games. He wasn't betting on college games. He was literally betting on himself. Number 1 reason, golf. Michael likes to golf. Michael is a competitor, so every time he went to golf, he was like, you know what? 10K right now, I'll take you on. Michael, chill, bro. Chill. I know you got money, but chill, dog. Chill. Anyway, yeah, I think they blew it up. And the fact that they tried to tie his dad into the whole gambling situation and saying that's why he was murdered, just completely absurd, completely crazy. I don't think that had anything to do with it. Then again, I don't know, but from my perspective, I don't think it had nothing to do with it. I think that was just an event that took place that resulted in the life of an individual who was dear to Michael. It's not much I can really say on that, but yeah, again, I don't think his gambling problem was that big. And he had money. If you got it, why not spend it? I'm not promoting gambling, but I'm just saying, if you got the money, why not, bet on yourself? He just was a competitor. That's what his main problem was. He liked betting on himself. And I think that's the main reason why he did so good on the court. He was always betting against himself. All right, that was 4, I believe. Okay, number 5. And this is just from, what? 8 episodes, yeah. Because 7 and 8 aired yesterday. So this is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Number 8. Michael was a bully, man. Good God. Did you see some of the behind the scenes footage when he was at practice? But he said he did that for a reason. He wanted to know what teammates was going to step up and have his back and what teammates was going to sit there and take the beating. Steve Kerr said, look, you can come over if you want to. You can come over if you want to, right? And he said he punched him in the chest and Michael punched him in the eye. I was like, oh, Michael, why you hitting the smallest dude on the court, man? And y'all know Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is the Golden State Warriors head coach. Won 2 rings with Golden State Warriors. Won 6 rings with the Chicago Bulls. So he's up there, and well, I wouldn't say he's up there with talk as being a great player. He was a good shooter. I give you that. He was a facilitator and he was a shooter. That's all he pretty much did. But he has rings to back up everything he's done. But man, I'm not sure if Michael's flu game was really the flu. I watched this docuseries. I watched it again. I watched it again. Then I went back and I read some articles when it happened. I don't think Michael had the flu, man. Now, here's how it goes. The flu game. Everyone remember the flu game. He was 102 fever. He was feeling bad. He had to take IVs. He went out there. He still balled out. In the docuseries, they tried to make it seem like he was real hungry one night at the hotel. Super, super hungry, right? And the only place that was open was this pizza parlor. So he ordered pizza, or his manager ordered pizza. It was his manager, his trainer, and somebody else in the room. None of them ate the pizza. Only Michael ate the pizza. Apparently when they called and they got it delivered, there were 5 guys that showed up to deliver the pizza because they really wanted to see Michael Jordan. Here's how they pictured it. Food poison. They tried to say Michael had food poisoning from the pizza. Could have happened? Yes. I mean, they were in, that city when they were playing against the Utah Jazz. So it could have been them. It could have been them. I don't know. But I was listening to ESPN radio, and one thing one of the guys said on there was, I think it was a case of Michael being hungover. I believe that to be so. I mean, he said he called his manager in the middle of the night throwing up, feeling bad. Those are all signs of being hungover from what I can tell. So I think Mike was actually hungover. I think he had just a little bit too much to drink because they had lost that game prior to this whole incident. So he was just like, you know what, I'm gonna throw a couple back, got too much, and was hungover the next day. Now, say he went out there and he balled down, he had 30+ points, was still amazing because he did have a fever. And he was taking IV in the locker room and he was drinking a bunch of Gatorade. So I think that was unbelievable. But I'm just rambling right now. I just decided to bring you some of my sports thoughts. I've been watching this Michael Jordan documentary. Everybody else has been watching the Michael Jordan documentary. There is no sports on right now besides the UFC. The UFC was the first professional sport to come back, and it was actually pretty amazing. And I watched it Saturday and I had a good time watching it. But I'm ready for my football. I'm ready for my football. I want to see what's going to happen this season. So, again, it's hard to make videos when you're being quarantined, even though some states are opening up with phases. Phase 1, 25% capacity. Phase 2, 50% capacity. Phase 3, 75%. Phase 4, 100%. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just waiting for this coronavirus situation to be contained so we can go back out to living our normal lives, okay? Other than that, it's been another episode of the Sports Juice Network. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this is nothing crazy. It's just my thoughts about Michael Jordan, man. I love Michael Jordan. I was a Kobe fan growing up. That's my era, if we're being honest. But I knew what Michael Jordan did back in the day. So I just decided to come on here and talk about some of the things he did in The Last Dance. This is an amazing documentary. I hope Kobe had the chance to make a documentary while he was retired. I know LeBron James documentary a decade from now is going to be amazing. But if you haven't yet, tune in to ESPN on Sunday starting at 8 o'clock and you will see The Last Dance, okay? So, without further ado, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys next episode. Yo!